Hi there, I'm Andy and I'm the convener of the Cambridge Asia British Parliamentary Championship. And this video is designed for debaters who are new to online competition debating, just to give you an idea of what to expect when you join our competition or any online competition for the first time. So after you register, you will at some point in the days before the competition get a message or an email from the tournament, which will have some useful information. The first is an invite to our Discord server. So Discord is where we post announcements and things that happen between rounds. We also use this to share information about other tournaments, and it's a way for you to ask some questions of the chief adjudicators or anybody else when Zoom is not suitable. So you'll get that Discord invite, and we encourage you to join Discord before the tournament. Second, you'll also get a link to TabbyCat, and this is the software we use to tabulate all the results of the competition. You'll be able to use this to check up on your progress and also to leave feedback on your judges, which is very important. The third thing you'll get, obviously, is a Zoom URL and a schedule. If you have any concerns, or if you haven't received your Zoom URL by 48 hours before the competition, we definitely encourage you to contact the conveners so that you know where to log on Saturday morning. When you come to the beginning of the tournament, you go to Zoom at the appointed time, and please answer the roll call when your team name is read out or displayed on screen. If you're not sure of your team name, you can ask the organizers. They'll be happy to remind you. Once everybody is present, then we move to the first of the preliminary rounds. And at this point, we will share with you a matchup. So the matchups look something like this. The 4 columns of teams, each column for a different position in the debate. So opening government, opening opposition, closing government, and closing opposition. You can also see the judge. And then on the left-hand side, very importantly, you can see the room number. So I would recommend that as soon as the matchups are displayed, that you take a screenshot or take a photo, because it's very easy to forget some of the information in that. So you're reading across the row to see, for example, in room 2, the opening government is PKU, the opening opposition is Confusing Convincing, the closing government is Team Meeseeks, and closing opposition is Macquarie. Okay? So this is how you can see what position in the debate you are in. Once everybody is clear in the matchup, then we proceed to share the motion for the round. So the motion will be displayed looking something like this. And as soon as you get the motion, prep time starts and you have 15 minutes to prepare. Now, some people choose to make sure they're in the same place physically with their teammate during the competition. So that could be in a classroom, if your school's open the weekend, or it could be, one of you go to the other person's house or book a room in a study center or something like that. You don't have to. Many people, will debate with their teammate despite not being in the same place. If that's the case, then you are allowed to use, social media or some other messaging platform to stay in contact with your teammate. And obviously, it's important that you can talk freely to your teammate during prep time and during the debate. So whether that's Line or Viber or Kakao Talk, or it's a Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, whatever it is that you use, that's totally fine. Don't use internet for anything else apart from communicating with your teammate, because it's not allowed. During the debate itself, you'll get the opportunity to ask and answer points of information from the other team. You'll sometimes hear debaters say, I would like my POIs verbally, which means that you should unmute yourself during their speech and ask a point of information by saying POI. Or they may say, I prefer my points of information in the chat, which means that if you want to ask a POI, then in the Zoom chat in that breakout room, you would type POI. Okay? So please listen to and respect the speaker's preference for how points of information are offered. At the end of the debate, you can thank your opponents and then just hang on in that breakout room, because once the judge or judges have considered their verdict, then they are going to give you the result and an explanation of the ranking after the debate. Okay? So in almost every round of the tournament, they will give you the ranking of the teams, and they will explain why they came to that ranking. Okay, so please, again, listen carefully to the feedback. You are entitled to ask for individual feedback from judges if you like. Obviously, bear in mind there's 8 people in the debate, so their feedback to you will necessarily be quite brief. The only exception to this rule is that normally one of the preliminary rounds is what we call a silent round. This means that you won't get the results and feedback immediately. Normally this is the last round of Saturday, round 4, and the reason we do this is just to maintain a little bit of suspense so you don't know exactly how many wins you have and how many points you have going into the break. After the preliminary rounds are finished, then we will announce the breaks. And this is the top teams proceeding to elimination rounds in the last stages of the competition. We have generally 2 kinds of breaks. One is the open break, which is open to everybody. And then in some competitions, we also have what we call a junior break, which is obviously for teams who are below a certain age. Other tournaments may have an open break and a novice break, or an open break and a high school break and a middle school break, whatever. In our competition, it's open and junior. In elimination rounds, everything happens exactly the same, except that you need to finish in the top 2 in each debate to progress. If you don't manage to finish in the top 2, then your competition is over. Of course, you can still stay and watch the other debates. Observers are always welcome, and indeed we strongly encourage everybody to watch the finals on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, so they can see how the top teams performed in the competition. And then after the finals, we'll have a short presentation where we announce the top speakers and the winning team or teams. And after the tournament, we release the tab on TabbyCat so that you can see your scores in every round. You can see where you ranked relative to other speakers, and you can see how your team did relative to other teams. So that's the basic of how a British parliamentary debate tournament works online. Hopefully that will help you to be prepared for the competition, and we're excited to see you on the weekend.